let's get into serious mode here, because it's a 215-page document. If you pull up the article over at prisonplanet.tv, I'm not sure if Nemo has written a new one yet, but it should have been a link I sent you guys earlier. First of all, this document is not for you and I. All right, let's get that straight. If you go to page 2, if you just go to scroll down to page 2, guys, or there's a little thing up in the top corner, you can just go page by page there for the prisonplanet.tv. There you go. That's what I want. I wanted that top spot. You had it. Right there. Boom. Let me read this for you. This lets you know this is not for me and you. This is law enforcement sensitive. It is protected by the Code of Virginia Titles 52-48 and 52-49. Further distribution of this document is restricted to law enforcement agencies, intelligence agencies, and Department of Defense organizations only. So this is a document that, again, these fusion centers, that is federalized, that is only for intelligence agencies and law enforcement agencies. It also says, no report or segment thereof may be released to any media sources. Too bad we're the tip of the spear in the InfoWar, friends, and we've got it. So this is going to be all over the media in the next few days. I will guarantee you this is going to be a bigger uproar than the MIAC report, because this is much broader. It may not use some of the harsh language that it does in the MIAC report, but this literally demonizes every and any group that gets together. Any and any group on the internet. You don't even have to get together according to this. I mean, that's how crazy this is. For instance, the international terrorism threat is only from pages 27 to 41. Let me repeat that. 27 to 41. So in a 215-page document, there are 15 pages dedicated to, Hamas, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, all that. Now, on the other hand, the domestic terrorist threat, right off the bat, is over 30 pages. Okay? Starts at 43, supposedly ends at 73, but that's not the case. Now, they go after anarchists, black separatist group, lone wolf extremists, which is just a totally broad topic, militia extremists. Here's the best one. Special interest extremists. Special interest groups, folks. People concerned about abortion. People concerned about the environment. How dare they're terrorist organizations. See, on one hand, the MIAC report doesn't use the term terrorism, but at the same time demonizes people like Ron Paul, organizations like Campaign for Liberty. This is very broad and openly uses the term terrorism in every case. In every case. And they do a lot of double speak in here. Let me give you an example. It's going to be tough for me to jump around. But for instance, they say terrorism for the purpose of this report is defined as politically motivated violence or threat of violence designed to coerce action or to prevent others from taking intended actions. Now, right there, violence. Ooh, violence. Right off the bat, violence. But then later in the report, I want to say it is in the 170s, folks. It is hard for me to get there. They admit openly that the majority of the groups mentioned have never used violence. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. So wait a minute. The groups that you're trying to demonize supposedly are violent because in this document you're saying that all these groups are politically motivated using violence or the threat of violence. But then later in the document they say, oh yeah, well the majority of these groups have never used violence or threatened violence. Ha 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 ha. Here we go. It's right here. It's the beginning of the conclusion on page 197. Okay, so page 4, they let you know for this document, terrorism for the purpose of this report is defined by politically motivated violence or the threat of violence designed to coerce action or to prevent others from taking intended actions. But right here, it says, although a number of international and domestic terrorist organizations have a presence in Virginia, the activities of these groups have been primarily limited to non-violent activity. And the terrorist organizations they're listing in here, folks, are... they listed... I hope I can find it because it's just... You know what? Type in Twitter in the search so we can bring it right up so I can figure out what page this is on that thing. in the little, there's a little bar on the side, the Control F bar, Twitter. They literally say that people who coordinated at the Republican National, yeah, there it is right there, at the Republican National Convention, used Twitter to coordinate, and then they said that this was Al-Qaeda-like. So you're against the Republicans. You go and protest at their convention, whether you're a Democrat or not, it doesn't matter, and you use Twitter, you're a potential terrorist. Now, later on, in the technology section, they sit there and go, oh, well, if they use YouTube and MySpace and Facebook, Google Video is on there, of course, that's terrorism. It's terrorism. And a lot of these groups are able to get donations online. There it is, terrorist use of technology. What page is that so I can jump to the hard copy, guys? Give it to me in my ear. I can't see it. Page 118. All right, 118. Let's jump to 118. There it is right there in my little stack of lacquer. And it's actually on page 120, the section that I would like, because the technology part is extremely long. Let me read this for you. These are direct quotes, folks. Page 120. Internet technology has emerged as the preferred medium for extremist communication and is increasingly being exploited to assist terrorists in achieving their goals. You see, the extremists are on the internet, and they're helping the terrorists, so they are terrorists. No evidence, no proof, no examples, just lies, and people read this. Again, not people, law enforcement officers, intelligence agencies, Department of Defense personnel. This isn't for you and me to know. We're not supposed to know this because they're openly setting up warrantless wiretapping in this country even further than what the Bush administration did, and even Keith Olbermann has to report on it. And it's right here in your face, and these are who they're going after us. This is making it very, very apparent they're going after us. The internet is used to recruit and radicalize supporters to play a more active role in support of terrorist activities or causes. I mean, come on. Give me a break. And that is a reference to Fox News' article, Lawmakers Take Aim at Homegrown Terrorist Threat. Remember, we're the terrorists now. They say that they solicit funds on their websites through donations, as well as the sale of various items, including publications and audio and visual media. Gee, I wonder who does that. Oh, we do that. That's right. We have 7 hours of radio every day. We put out 2 films at least a year. So we're bad because we're telling the truth? Give me a break. And here it is right here, folks. Extremist groups are active on web forums, blogs, and social networking sites such as YouTube, MySpace, and see, they stick IslamTube in there. Like any of us have ever used IslamTube in our lives. Like we knew an IslamTube actually existed. So they put IslamTube in the middle of YouTube, MySpace, and Google Video, and Twitter. And ooh, it sends chills down your spine. IslamTube. Give me a... I'm getting angry. All right? These networking venues have also been used to deliver near real-time information online and to cellular phones. God forbid we have real-time info. God forbid we can reach the masses at the drop of a hat, at the snap of a finger. And this was what I was talking about right here, where they really associate protesters with Al-Qaeda. I mean, this is them. All right, on page 120, Twitter was used as a counter-surveillance command and control and movement tool by activists at the Republican National Convention. The activists would tweet, send messages to each other and their Twitter pages to add information on what was happening with law enforcement near real time. And this is out of an article, okay, I kid you not, it's titled Al-Qaeda-like Mobile Discussions and Potential Creative Uses. It's Al-Qaeda-like to use your First Amendment, to exercise your freedom. Folks, this document continues to be more and more disturbing as I take a closer look at it. We'll be back after this. Call lines 866-582-9933. It's the InfoWarrior.